Today we've got a fresh episode of SmackDown, happening just one night before John Cena's final match. But yeah, we'll get back to that later. But for now, let's focus on the blue brand. First of all, I hope you already hit that like button and let's get started. The show kicks off with the company's top champion, Cody Rhodes, making his way to the ring. And of course, the first thing he wants to talk about is Drew McIntyre. Cody says Drew demanded to be reinstated. And if Cody were the boss of the company, he says he wouldn't even bring him back. He would just fire him. Since he's not the boss, he's planning to beat the hell out of that bastard instead. And suddenly the lights turn green, and out comes none other than the NXT champion, Oba Femi. I do keep up with NXT, but usually don't watch entrances. So honestly, laughed a bit at how he tried to dance to his theme music. Anyway, Uba says Cody is worried about the wrong match. Drew isn't even here tonight, but the NXT champion is. He introduces himself and he reminds Cody that they're facing each other. He says Saturday night main event is supposed to be about the future. But Cody doesn't realize that the future is already knocking on the door and it's a lot closer than he thinks. Uba Femi even throws in some of John Cena's classic catchphrases into his promo. Cody fires back, calling him son, and says he beat John Cena to become champion. So now we'll see what Uba is really made of. Cody tries to walk away, but Femi stops him, and the two get face to face, holding their titles. Backstage, Elijah Dragunov is heading to his match when he gets approached by Fraxium. They say they know how dirty DIY usually plays, so if anything goes down, they're ready to step in and have Elijah's back. Dragunov responds that he doesn't need any help. He says he took on the heavy burden of defending the title week after week in true John Cena fashion, and he has plans to handle everything himself. Once again, we get promo for SmackDown and the Royal Rumble both take place in Saudi Arabia. They're telling everybody to go buy tickets, but honestly, there's barely anything left. I didn't expect it to be hard to get a ticket. I've never seen a ticket queue for over 1.1 million before. But anyway, your boy managed to grab his tickets and I'll be hitting them myself. Meanwhile, Tommaso has been waiting for a very long time, as he finally challenges for the United States Championship, currently held by Elijah Dragunov, and I really like how they managed to build a solid story here. You can genuinely feel the tension between these two. From the first minute, they went extremely aggressive and kept that intensity all the way till the end. I really enjoyed this match, and honestly, I didn't expect anything less from these two. Of course, Ciampa obviously deserves a singles championship after everything he's done for the company. Though I'm not sure WWE feels the same way. Still, move after move, he keeps proving that this was his moment, professionally breaking down the champion piece by piece. Towards the end, things completely went off the rails, and Dragunov even ended up with a busted nose. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae came out to help their guy and started playing dirty. But the champion managed to fight through the interference, successfully retain the title. After the match, DIY tried to continue the beatdown. Carmelo Hayes ran out to make the save, easily cleared the ring, and helped the champion back to his feet. Absolutely cinematic, as they say. Backstage, Kathy Kelly is interviewing Javon Evans, who says tomorrow he got a huge match ahead of him. He then gets interrupted by The Miz, who's still furious that he never got his match, even though he believes he deserves it more than anyone. Javon wasn't even born when The Miz and Cena started their careers. It's decided that they'll have their match later tonight on SmackDown. Miz's goal is to injure the young kid so he can take his spot at Saturday night's main event. Then, for some reason, we got a quick cut to Wyatt's family saying, "We're here," which at first didn't seem related to the segment at all. But after the commercial break, it turns out the Wyatts are actually coming out to the ring. 3 ways. Solo Sikoa took shots at them last week, but honestly, who is he to do that? As for family, Solo's real family already turned their backs on him because he used them and got exactly what he deserved. He claims that MFT runs SmackDown, but that's just laughable. They're nothing compared to the Whites as long as the Whites hold the tag team titles. So if Solo and his crew want those championships, come out here and try and take them. Solo responds on the screen laughing at the idea that MFT would just show up and do whatever the Whites want. Not a chance. He'll do things his own way. Next week, the two teams will face off for the titles, as if Uncle Howdy really wants to keep his family together. Maybe it's better to just hand the belts over, or better yet, run. Yeah, another White reference, and that's how the segment ends. Backstage again, Charlotte Flair is giving Alexa Bliss a pep talk before her match against Lash Legend, saying that yeah, she's bigger and more confident, but that won't be enough to beat her. In the end, the focus should be on the tag team titles. Rhea Ripley then steps in and reminds them that, with all due respect, she and Sky will be the next champions. We move on to Alexa Bliss versus Lash Legend. And I honestly don't understand why Lexi is always the one taking the bump in the ring, but I don't really have a problem with it. I'm already used to weekly show matches being longer these days, but for some reason, they didn't do that here. Everything ended way too quickly. At one point, Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley started brawling. From there, Lash Legend took full control and picked up the win over Alexa Bliss. Okay, but not okay. We finally got the official announcement that SmackDown is becoming a 3-hour show again, starting January 2nd, right from the very first show of the year. Last time the show ran for 3 hours was sometime until around July, if I remember correctly. But according to the news, this time it's supposed to be a bit shorter, possibly only until WrestleMania. Either way, we'll see how it goes. WWE is also currently working on bringing more people into the roster and strengthening the creative team in order to deliver a better overall product. And now, we get to the previously announced match, The Miz going one-on-one against Javon Evans. Everyone understands that they're not changing tomorrow's card, but they still need to move Evans forward and present him in the best possible light. I honestly feel like most fans will only tune in for the main event, but maybe it helps pull in a few more viewers along the way. I like how the match was put together, because in a way, both guys managed to show what they are about. Things are really rough for The Miz right now. He hasn't won a single match the entire year. Meanwhile, things are going a lot better for the young guy in his career. He's a machine. And tomorrow, he'll be wrestling his 4th match of the week, proving that he is the future of the company. I don't think it's a secret to anyone that tonight's winner was, of course, Javon Evans. Backstage, Nia Jax and Lash Legend tell Rhea Ripley that they already dealt with Alexa and Charlotte, which means Rhea and Sky are next. In the end, Jade steps in and simply goes face to face with Mommy.
Backstage, Michin is running through her promo while heading the ring to her match, but things take a turn when she gets attacked by Jade Cargill. Jade doesn't want to settle this in the ring, the traditional way, and demands that her music be played. The champion makes her way to the ring and says that this is exactly what's going to happen to anyone who dares to stand in her way. Still, Michin's music hits and she comes out with a candlestick. At first, she actually managed to get a bit of offense in, but Jade quickly takes control and plants her with a choke slam. I'm pretty sure an actual match was originally planned, but it feels like they miscommunicated with the show timing and had to improvise. Overall, it's fine. Maybe they will run this back later with some kind of special stipulation and give it more time. And now we move on the main event of the show, another previously announced mixed tag team match, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest versus Zelina Vega and Aleister Black. I like this matchup simply because it feels fresh. You don't get mixed tag matches like this very often. The match itself was solid overall, but it's definitely dragged at times, and honestly that's mostly off on Zelina Vega because everyone else in the match was on completely different level. This rivalry has been built for a while now, but once again, I didn't like how little time they gave the match. Near the end there was a botch that almost seriously injured Zelina Vega, but somehow she ended up being okay. In the end, the babyface relayed, and after a double finisher, Rhea pinned Zelina to secure the win for her team, so congrats to them. That's how episode of SmackDown turned out, just like as expected. It was pretty underwhelming. Everything was clearly focused on John Cena's final match, which is happening tomorrow, and with that I'm out. Bye bye for now.